For many, the ocean represents freedom, the beach, a haven of joy. But for some travelers, it becomes the final chapter in a trip meant to inspire, not destroy. Each year, hundreds of tourists drown while on vacation. The causes vary from alcohol, misjudgment, poor signage, or simply being in the wrong place at the wrong time. But the result is often the same: grief, unanswered questions, and urgent scrutiny of safety practices in some of the world's most visited destinations. In this episode, we examine 3 recent tragedies, each involving a British tourist, each taking place at a popular coastal resort. What links them is not just the water, but the silence and the system failures that surrounded their deaths. Number 1, February 24th, 2023, Gold Coast, Australia. The Gold Coast is known for its high-rise skyline, golden beaches, and pulsing nightlife. But on February 24th, 2023, it became the scene of a haunting loss. Lewis Jack, a 22-year-old Scottish man visiting Australia on a working holiday visa, had been out with friends near the Isle of Capri, a luxury canal-laced neighborhood in surfer's paradise. It was around 3:30 a.m. when Jack, reportedly intoxicated, slipped from the edge of the road into the water. What followed was chaos. His friends tried to help him, shouting and searching, but he vanished beneath the surface. Emergency services were called shortly after, triggering a multi-agency search. By dawn, police divers were scouring the murky canal waters. The Isle of Capri's waterways, while picturesque by day, can be treacherous at night. Limited lighting, strong undercurrents, and low visibility made rescue operations difficult. Later that day, divers located Jack's body in the canal, near the point where he fell. In the aftermath, friends described him as full of life, an adventurer who loved travel and had dreams of settling in Australia. He had only arrived a few weeks earlier. The tragedy drew attention to a broader issue: the risks associated with canal systems and nighttime activity near water in tourist hubs like the Gold Coast. Between 2005 and 2022, dozens of accidental drownings were reported in Queensland's waterways, many involving tourists. Alcohol, unfamiliar environments, and limited safety infrastructure are often contributing factors. In Jack's case, the edge where he fell had no barrier or warning signage. While locals might navigate it instinctively, a newcomer, especially after drinking, might never realize the danger until it's too late. A GoFundMe set up to repatriate Lewis Jack's body to Scotland raised thousands of dollars in just days. His passing, while not headline-grabbing globally, deeply shook those who knew him and exposed how quickly a dream trip can unravel. Number 2, May 22nd, 2025, Tenerife, Spain. Tenerife is the largest of Spain's Canary Islands, attracting over 5 million tourists each year. With year-round sunshine and family-friendly resorts, it's often chosen as a first international holiday for many British families. On this particular day, that dream turned into devastation. A 4-year-old British boy drowned in a swimming pool at a hotel in the Golf del Sur area, a popular tourist enclave near the southern coast. Emergency services were called around midday, with paramedics rushing to the scene after the child was pulled from the water. Despite attempts at resuscitation, including prolonged CPR at the poolside, the boy passed away shortly afterward. Details remain scarce due to the child's age and ongoing privacy protections. However, Spanish authorities confirmed that an investigation had been launched into the circumstances of the incident. What's known as Iscayu, the boy had been staying at the hotel with family. It's unclear how long he was in the water before being noticed. Some guests told local media that there were no lifeguards visible at the pool at the time. In many parts of Spain, lifeguards are not legally required at hotel pools, even if they are used by children. Responsibility often falls to the parents or supervising adults. However, this model has drawn criticism, especially in large resorts where distractions and crowds can make constant supervision difficult. Statistics from the Spanish National Institute of Statistics show that drowning is one of the leading causes of accidental death among tourists in Spain, particularly between the months of May and September. In 2022 alone, 394 people drowned in Spain, 70 of them in swimming pools. While many of these deaths involve adults in the sea, child drownings in hotel pools occur with unsettling regularity and are often preventable. In this case, the hotel expressed deep sorrow for the incident, but declined further comment, citing the privacy of the family. UK consular services offered assistance, and local authorities confirmed that no charges had been filed. But for the family involved, none of that could undo the irreversible. A child lost, a holiday shattered, and a reminder that even the safest seeming spaces can carry hidden risks. Number 3. May 21st, 2024, Fuengirola, Spain. Spain's Costa del Sol, or Coast of the Sun, lives up to its name. With more than 320 sunny days a year, towns like Fuengirola draw millions of visitors annually, especially from Northern Europe. It was here, on the evening of May 21st, 2024, that a 57-year-old British tourist disappeared while swimming in the sea. He had gone into the water for a short dip around 8:30 p.m., just as the sun began to set. Witnesses reported seeing him swimming alone near the shore before losing sight of him. At first, it wasn't clear whether he had simply returned to shore elsewhere, but minutes turned to hours and concern grew. Friends raised the alarm, prompting a response from local police and the Salvamento Marítimo Spain's Maritime Rescue Service. Helicopters, boats, and jet skis were deployed. The search lasted into the night. By the next morning, his body was found floating near the coastline. He had no visible injuries, no signs of struggle. Authorities later concluded that he had likely drowned, possibly due to a combination of factors: mild currents, fatigue, or a sudden medical issue. Fuengirola has a well-developed tourism infrastructure, including beach patrols during the day, but evening hours are a gray area. Once lifeguards clock off, the sea becomes an unsupervised zone regardless of conditions. The Mediterranean may appear calm, but beneath the surface, rip currents and sudden drop-offs can pose dangers to even experienced swimmers. In 2023, 75 people drowned in Andalusia, the region that includes Costa del Sol. Of those, 13 were foreign nationals. Most incidents occurred in the sea, often during off-peak hours or outside designated swimming zones. The man's identity was not released publicly in accordance with privacy rules, but he was described by local officials as a holidaymaker from the United Kingdom, traveling with friends. His death was not headline news, but for his loved ones, the shock was overwhelming. There was no foul play, no weather alert, just a decision to take one last swim before dinner and never returning. 3 deaths, 3 countries, 3 very different lives united by one thing: water. Louis Jack, a young man just starting his international journey, slipped beneath the canals of the Gold Coast. A 4-year-old boy, surrounded by family in Tenerife, never surfaced again. And a middle-aged man in Fuengirola, out for a swim at sunset, was found lifeless the next morning. None of them were in dangerous areas. None were breaking rules. But each was vulnerable in a way that wasn't immediately obvious. Tourist drownings rarely make front-page news, but they're far more common than many realize. According to the World Health Organization, drowning is the 3rd leading cause of unintentional injury death worldwide, claiming an estimated 236,000 lives each year. Tourists often face increased risk due to unfamiliarity with local waters, language barriers, or false senses of security. In many countries, lifeguard coverage is inconsistent. Warning signs may be missing, or not in a language the visitor understands. Alcohol, fatigue, or simply underestimating the power of water adds to the danger. And yet, year after year, these places remain open. Pools stay unmonitored. Coastlines are left unpatrolled. Responsibility when it comes to water safety is often passed on to the individual, even when the environment is clearly hazardous. Because in tourist hotspots like the Gold Coast, Tenerife, and Costa del Sol, the waves aren't always the problem. Sometimes it's what we don't see: the lack of barriers, the absence of lifeguards, the false calm before the undertow that proves deadly. And for those left behind, There are no second chances, no do-overs, just unanswered questions, silent grief, and vacations that ended in tragedy.